Alright, so all the different versions of it works, and it outputs your vertical spread pricing. What's good, fam? It's your other brother Adam, Getbags. We got a subscriber request today. Get vertical spread pricing. We're going to be getting vertical spread pricing in Python using the Yahoo Fin library. Let's jump straight into it. First thing we want to do is import our modules. Next, what we want to do is we want to define a function that we're going to use to get our vertical spread pricing. It's going to have a couple of input variables. We got the ticker, we got the spread type, call or put spread, the expiration number, so the number of expiration date we want to use. We've got our long strike and our short strike prices. Okay, so when we're building the app, we want to leave the function off because we want to just make sure we test everything first, and then we'll implement the function. Okay, so we want to put our inputs that would come through the function into the program. So we're just going to put those in there, and then we're going to go ahead and pull down the expiration dates. All right, so we have our inputs here. We have our ticker, our spread type, either call or put. We have our expiration number, and we have our strike prices. So we're going to test it with a put spread, long put spread, long strike 19, short strike 18. And then I already know we're going to have to put a try loop or a try block so we can catch exceptions if the strike prices aren't available. So we're just going to go ahead and just leave that there for later. And then we got this print statement here because we're going to go ahead and grab some data. So we're going to make if statements here. That's if the spread type is call, we're going to get call data, and if the spread type is put, we're going to get put data. So knowing that we're going to put this into a function, I'm going to add a return statement here. So if there's any issues, then we just exit the function there and return nothing. Okay, so it looks like we got an error here. So that was easy. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to get the chain data. So we pulled down the option chain data, but we want to trim it to get only the strikes that we're going to use to create the spread. So that'll reduce, when we clean the data and change everything to numeric data type, it'll reduce the amount of calculations we have to do. Nice. So this operator right here helps you, basically add an extra row to the data set. So we're just getting the chain data and the columns from strike, bid, ask, and last price, where essentially the strike price is equal to the long strike and the strike price is equal to the short strike. So you can use a plus sign here, and then in the documentations it says you can use an ampersand, but the plus sign was working, but then it threw an error. But then this straight line here, this pipe right here, it worked good. So let's go ahead and test it out, make sure everything's working so far. Okay, so in short, what happened there was that weekly expiration, I changed the expiration number from 6 to 5, and that was a weekly expiration that didn't have the data for the strikes that I was looking for. So that's why your try block is going to be important. And it looks like it's working here. I'm using the monthly January expiration, so about 45 days out. So it looks like our data is coming back. Next thing we're going to want to do is just reset the index here that you're seeing over on the side to 0 and 1. And then we're going to go ahead and change the data types. Just make sure that everything's a number. Okay, so we were able to reset the index, as you can see here, and then also change all the data types to make sure they're numbers. That looks good. I'm going to throw in the mid price as an extra column, so that's a quick calculation. All right, so looks like we got all of our data here, and we got a mid price as well. Next thing we're going to want to do is create the calculation for the spread. Okay, so very important. We're going to be buying on the ask, we're going to be selling on the bid, and then same thing with any short spreads. We're going to be selling the bid and then buying the ask. So the calculation looks like it's working. So we got a long put spread here, so we just be buying here, selling here, 65 cents. It looks good to me. We're we're going to want to pretty up this number here, so we're going to round it maybe 4 decimal places, and then we're also going to put some like printing so that we can see like how much, you know, the spreads are costing and everything. Pretty up out of space here, and then just have some output so that we can kind of keep track of everything. All right, great. So now we got that all together. Let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. Everything looks real pretty, and we got the rounding, we got our data here, and we got our output. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is just add the exceptions for our try block, which is going to catch index errors. So if we run this with a strike that doesn't exist, then it's going to throw index errors here. So we're going to take that and then go ahead and just insert that into our exception, and then indent everything else. So let's go here, indent everything, and then we'll get our exception going here. Okay, so it caught our exception here. That looks good. Now what we want to do is put everything into the function and get rid of our inputs here, and then we'll put all of the inputs into the function directly. Okay, so it wasn't working when I plugged 18 in there. It looks like that wasn't available strike, which is kind of odd, which I might just take a quick look at, knowing that this is the monthly expiration in January. You think they'd have 18, but they don't have 18, so you gotta check your strikes before you go popping code saying it doesn't work, right? So look, here it goes. It worked. We ran the definition, or we ran the function, and then we inputted our variables there. Everything looks like it's running clean. Let's just go ahead and try the short spread. All right, so all the different versions of it works and outputs your vertical spread pricing. Thank you for the video recommendation. I think this one worked out real nicely. Get in there, trade some options. It's not financial advice. We got some fun stuff coming on the way. I think I'm going to do some web scraping to get crypto data, and then we'll probably do some crypto time series analysis, and then we might make some pipelines up or something like that. So real exciting stuff coming. I'll get to the personal development stuff and dating stuff too, but you know, I'm just having so much fun getting these bags.